Hi and Assalamualaikum to my beloved lecturer, Dr. Hasmida. I am Haizatul from Group 2. Now I want to present about incidents of MSCC detents headmaster for soliciting accepting 10,000 ringgit in bribes. Integrity is important element of the well-being of civil servant. Previous studies have found integrity has a positive relationship with individual, community, and organizational. Integrity forms a person who has a good behavior and is free from negative behavior. Weakness of integrity will contribute to the collapse of moral values and the damage of a job profession. Integrity will also affect emotional, career, and financial success, work success, relationship, and staff physical success. Emotional success is influenced to be happy, satisfied, or calm. Otherwise, worry, disappointed, angry, or not satisfied. Career and financial success is generally the ability to control spending habits and saving enough for one's future and career. While work success is defined in terms of high productivity, which is the pleasure of working, dedication to the task. Individuals are responsible for the formation of their own integrity. According to Aristotle, individuals are moral when doing the right action because they know the action is right, consistently, and in harmony with himself. Therefore, it is very important to form values and good morals through habit and training. A leader also needs to have courage to define boundaries and defend oneself against self-destructive things and whole values. There are many cases that are proof of why integrity is difficult to achieve. We can see in the news of a handful of public and private officials accepting bribes to facilitate a process that involves public interest. For example, bribes to get tenders, bribes to cut lines, bribes to avoid being punished, and so on. At one level, practice without integrity such as giving and receiving bribes as if already becomes part of the culture practiced by some members of society. In short, this integrity refers to how we behave, what our purpose to doing something, and the means or method used to achieve that purpose, and intention must be necessary, done correctly. Corruption is an act of extortion done by someone with the aim of getting help and benefits for their own interests. This is because when going through normal procedure, he will not get what he wants. This means the power that has been given to him will be misused and act for his own good. For example, incidents where the headmaster had allegedly solicited and accepted bribes from the school's canteen operator as an inducement to approve the claim for the program Rancangan Makanan Tambahan RMT. Appropriate leadership that set a good example to follow has given the wrong impression to society that the issue of corruption is not cruel, not destructive, can be easily forgiven, and criminal offenders can still be appointed as leaders who need to be respected and trusted.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I bid to our lecturer Dr. Hasmida Luqman and to my fellow classmates. My name is Nushairah binti Mat Shah, and I will proceed to discuss on the main issue and also related issue that we have found out in our article. There are one main issue, and two related issues that we have identified. The first main issue is related to corruption and bribery. I will explain what is corruption. Corruption is an umbrella term for the honest or fraudulent conduct involving the abuse of power and influence. Corruption is identified as a dishonest behavior by those in positions of power. And bribe, in the other hand, refer to the involvement of the exchange of something of value, such as money, with the purpose of influencing the behavior of public official. We can relate to the main title of the article, that is MACC, Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commissions, had detained a headmaster of a school in Kluang, Johor, for soliciting and accepting bribes over RM10,000 on RMT program, Rancangan Makanan Tambahan, claims approval from canteen operator. Let's take a look on MACC Act 2019. There are 4 main offences of corruption stipulated, which are as follows. The first one is soliciting or receiving gratification under section 16 and 17A. The second one is offering or giving gratification under section 17B. The third one is intending to receive or false claim under section 18, and fourth is using officer or position for gratification, bribe, abuse of power, position under section 23. Next, I will proceed to the next related issue that we can refer based on the article is on the following. The headmaster had approving RMT claims without the canteen operator having to go under the standard procedure or required process stipulated by the government. Based on these claims, we can see that the headmaster had practiced abuse of power. As a headmaster, he had used his power to approve claims without further following the SOP. Abuse of power can be defined as the improper use of a position or influence, power, or authority against another person, which in many respects, the headmaster is the most significant and powerful person in every school. The influence and the power held by the leader in the organization would bring about the occupational fraud to occur. The headmaster, as a leader, had demonstrated inappropriate conduct inside and outside of his office by receiving and soliciting the bribe and approval claims without further following the standards of procedure. Next is the conflicts of interest. Conflicts of interest can be referred as a situation in which entity or individuals become unreliable because of clash between personal interests and professional duties or responsibilities. There are 3 most common types of conflicts of interest occurs among public servants. The first one is known as self-dealing, which it refers to higher rank officer act in their own best interest in a transaction at the expenses of the business. Second one is nepotism, on which favoritism for family members or friends to be awarded with favors, benefits, or opportunity based on the relationship rather than the actual qualification. And the last one is accepting gift from external interested party to gain an advantages. So, based on the headmaster case, it can be decided how further the relationship between the headmaster and also the canteen operator.
Next is the actor who is involved in this ethical accidents. Who is involved is 56 years old headmaster who has been charged with soliciting and accepting bribes from the school canteen operator, and also the canteen operator who bribed the headmaster to approve the demand for the supplementary food program RMT implemented in 2022. The Malaysia Anti-Corruption Commission (MACC) has taken action against the offences committed by the headmaster himself. Anti-corruption law is a legal and compliance approach to behaviour. The law is restrict the corrupt behaviour of public officials such as the headmaster in the case of this accident. Most countries have penalty codes to punish unacceptable misconduct in public service. The Malaysia Anti-Corruption Commission (MAF6A) has arrested the headmaster of a school in Kluang for allegedly soliciting and accepting bribery amounting more than 10,000 ringgit in the year 2022. Corruption cases usually involve parties who have the authority to determine or improve something, such as the headmaster in this incident where he gave approval to the canteen operator. The problem of corruption in Malaysia is indeed becoming more and more common. Many cases were reported involving corruption. International Transparency has revealed the Global Corruption Perception Index in 2009. According to report, Malaysia's position was raised to 56 compared to 118 countries. This can prove how serious the problem of corruption is in our country. A study conducted by Transparency International Malaysia said that the high-income group in Malaysia is more likely to give bribes to the authorities. Anti-corruption agency (SCA) such as Ireland's Public Bodies Corrupt Practice Act, Malaysia Anti-Corruption Commission (MAF6A) was established specifically to monitor unethical behavior and prevent unethical behavior that we can see. The headmaster in the incident has given bad perception to the public, such as the teacher at school, students, his family members, and the public who see the action he has taken, which is involved to the corruption.
Now I will continue on the implications based on the issue that had been stipulated earlier. The first one is corruption that can bring very severe problems that affect numerous sectors and industry. It can trigger instability, economic downturn, and also mistrust between the public servants and the citizen. Business can be destroyed by corruption, fraud, and bribery. An International Monetary Fund (IMF) research from 2016 had indicated that the cost of bribery alone ranges from 1.5 to 2 trillion annually. Due to the practice of corruptions among public servants and also the private sector, the honest people who would perform better on merit lose out in favor of those who are more successful at obtaining this fund if bribes may be successfully given to the law enforcement, for example, the police officer and also the civil servants. Strongly moral, citizens lose representations, influence and power. Appearance that corruption is pervasive and corrupt actors are not being held accountable will cause people to lose trust in authority and public institutions. Next is the implications of abuse of power of public servants. According to the MAF6A chief, Tan Sri Azam Baki said that this trend is worrying as it involves the abuse of power, such as using their serviceable positions to award job contracts to family members or individuals who have blood relations. Abuse of power is defined as the use of power by government institutions or officials to make decisions that go beyond their legal jurisdictions or to act arbitrarily and illegally of their own interests. Every decision made by government officials has binding power to all members of the society and serve the public interest or to hold public function. However, powerful people are prone to take risky, inappropriate or unethical decisions and often overstep their boundaries as power tends to weaken one's social attentive, which leads to difficulty to understand other people's points of view and interests. Thus, this creates opportunities for deviations and dysfunction in the administrations. A good leader should hold a very high level of integrity inside themselves. it is very important for leaders to practice good ethical and to act as a role model to the people who report below them. Integrity is an important concept in ethical reasoning. Integrity is also closely linked to the establishment and strengthening of good ethics. Government agencies are constantly faced with various forms of threats from within or outside the environment, and these threats can also affect the performance, the productivity, as well as the future of an organization. However, if non-integrity act is left unattended, it will eliminate the trust of the society and affect the image of civil servants, the country, and disable strong corporate entities. Thus, it is very important to nurture integrity among civil servants in order to create a competitive and developed Malaysian nation.